Do you even understand what you've unleashed? Captain Roland's voice cut through the sterile silence of the alien chamber. His words echoed off the metallic walls, carrying a weight that even the alien council could not ignore. The tallest of the alien figures, with shimmering skin that rippled like liquid mercury, tilted its elongated head. Its voice resonated in a strange harmony, a blend of curiosity and confusion. Unleashed? Your species volunteered. You are the pinnacle of adaptability, endurance, and aggression. Perfect for the role. Roland leaned forward, his gaze piercing. Perfect for what? Being your weapons? You don't know humans, not really. You see strength and determination, but you miss the part where we don't stop, ever. Another alien, shorter and covered in scales that shifted colors with its emotions, interjected. Your unpredictability is an asset. It is why you were chosen. Roland let out a bitter laugh. Unpredictability? Is that what you call it? You think we're unpredictable now? Wait until you see what happens when you push us too far. The council members exchanged glances, their alien expressions unreadable to the untrained eye. Yet Roland could sense their unease. Explain, the tallest alien demanded, its voice now tinged with a hint of urgency. Roland crossed his arms, his jaw tightening. You've given us your technology, trained us in your tactics, and thrown us into battles we never asked for. But humans are survivors. We adapt in ways you can't predict, and when we fight, it's not just with weapons. It's with everything we have, our minds, our emotions, our instincts. That's what makes us dangerous. The room fell silent, the weight of his words sinking in. The silence stretched, thick and heavy. Finally, the tallest alien spoke, its voice quieter, as though weighing each word. Dangerous? You misunderstand. We chose your species because you excel where others falter. Your survival instincts, your capacity for innovation under pressure. These traits make you invaluable in the conflicts we face. Roland's eyes narrowed. And what happens when those traits turn against you? The color-shifting alien, whose hues now settled into a deep indigo, a sign of tension, Roland had learned, stepped forward. Your species was thoroughly evaluated. We have studied your history, your wars, your triumphs and failures. There is no evidence to suggest you would. Rebel? Roland interrupted, his voice sharp. That's because you're looking at the wrong data. You see patterns, numbers, outcomes. But humans? We're more than that. We're unpredictable because we don't just fight for survival. We fight for freedom, for revenge, for things you can't quantify. And when we fight, we don't stop until we win, or everything burns. The tallest alien's shimmering form seemed to dim slightly, as though the weight of Roland's words had a physical impact. Are you saying we have made a mistake? Roland's lips curled into a grim smile. I'm saying you've lit a fuse, and you don't even realize it. The council exchanged another series of glances, their telepathic communication a subtle ripple in the air. Roland had seen it before, silent exchanges that spoke volumes. Finally, the indigo-scaled alien turned back to him. If what you say is true, then you must also understand that we did not choose lightly. Your kind was given an opportunity to ascend beyond your limitations. You are now part of something greater than yourselves. Greater? Roland's voice dripped with sarcasm. You've turned us into tools, expendable assets for your wars. You think that's an upgrade? You misunderstand again, the tallest alien said. We have elevated your species. Without us, you would remain bound to your fragile planet, limited by your primitive technology. With us, you have become a force capable of shaping the galaxy. Roland shook his head. You still don't get it. Humans don't like being controlled. You think you've made us stronger, but all you've done is give us the means to fight back. The room grew colder, the tension palpable. The council's telepathic hum intensified, a sign of deep deliberation. Roland could almost feel their unease, their calculations unraveling in real time. Finally, the tallest alien spoke again, its tone cautious. If what you say is true, then it is imperative we address this instability. We must ensure your kind remains aligned with our objectives. Roland laughed, a hollow, bitter sound. Good luck with that. You can't program loyalty into humans. The more you try to control us, the harder we push back. That's who we are. The indigo-scaled alien's color shifted to a murky gray, a sign of uncertainty. Then what do you propose, Captain Roland? If your kind is as volatile as you claim, how do we ensure cooperation without conflict? Roland leaned forward, his voice low and dangerous. You don't. You let us go. You stop treating us like weapons and start treating us like allies. Because if you don't, this whole galaxy is going to learn just how dangerous humans can be. The council fell silent once more, their shimmering forms flickering as though processing the gravity of his words. The council did not respond immediately. Their forms shimmered in uneasy ripples, a stark contrast to their usual composed demeanor. Roland stood his ground, his arms crossed, his expression unyielding. Finally, the tallest alien spoke again, its tone a blend of frustration and curiosity. You speak of freedom, yet your kind agreed to this arrangement willingly. Why now do you challenge it? Roland's jaw tightened. We agreed because we didn't understand the full picture. You offered us technology, advancements we couldn't dream of. But you didn't tell us the cost, that we'd be fighting wars we don't believe in, for causes that aren't ours. You didn't tell us we'd be pawns in your games. The indigo-scaled alien's color deepened to a stormy violet, a sign of agitation. Your kind was given a choice. Many other species would have begged for the opportunity to join our ranks, to gain the power and knowledge we offered. Maybe they would have, Roland shot back. But humans? We don't just take orders blindly. We question, we resist, and when we feel betrayed, we fight back. The council's telepathic hum grew louder, almost oppressive. Roland could sense their unease, their struggle to reconcile their calculations with the reality he presented. You underestimate the strength of our alliance, the tallest alien said finally. Your kind is but one part of a greater whole. Together, we are unstoppable. Roland smirked. You think we're just another cog in your machine. But humans don't work like that. We don't fall in line. We don't stay predictable. And when we're pushed too far, we don't just break. We explode. The indigo-scaled alien stepped forward, its voice sharp. Enough. Your defiance is noted, Captain Roland. But understand this, your kind is bound by the agreements made. To defy us is to invite destruction, not just for you, but for your entire species. Roland's smirk faded, replaced by a steely resolve. You think you can scare us into submission? You don't know humans at all. We don't back down. We don't give up. And if you push us hard enough, you'll find out just how far we're willing to go. The council exchanged another series of glances, their telepathic hum reaching a fever pitch. Finally, the tallest alien spoke again, its tone cautious. If what you say is true, then we must reconsider our approach. Perhaps there is a path forward that does not lead to conflict. Roland raised an eyebrow. I'm listening. The tallest alien straightened, its liquid metal form shimmering with a faint luminescence. We propose a council of equals. Your kind will have a voice among us, a role in shaping the conflicts we face together. In return, you will honor the commitment your leaders made. Roland's eyes narrowed. A council of equals? Sounds like a fancy way of saying you'll let us talk while you keep pulling the strings. The indigo-scaled alien hissed, its voice sharp. You are testing our patience, human. Your kind may be formidable, but do not forget. Our technology, our strategies, our unity have brought order to this galaxy for millennia. Do not presume to threaten us. Roland stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. I'm not threatening you. I'm warning you. Humans don't do well with chains, even ones made of gold. If you want us to fight with you, it has to be our choice. Otherwise, you're not just fighting your enemies, you're fighting us too. The room fell into a tense silence, the council's telepathic hum now a faint, uneasy vibration. Finally, the tallest alien spoke, its tone measured. If we were to grant your kind autonomy within our ranks, how would you ensure cooperation? How would you prevent the chaos you so vividly describe? Roland shrugged. Simple. You let us lead ourselves. You give us the tools, the intel, and the freedom to decide how we fight. You trust us to get the job done our way. The indigo-scaled alien's colors shifted to a mottled gray-green, a sign of skepticism. Trust? Your kind is an unknown variable. Trusting you could lead to disaster. Roland smirked. Or it could lead to victory. You brought us here because you needed something no other species could provide. If you want to win, you need to let us be who we are. Otherwise, you're wasting your time, and ours. The council fell silent again, their shimmering forms flickering as they deliberated. Roland could feel the weight of their decision hanging in the air. Finally, the tallest alien spoke. Very well. We will grant your kind limited autonomy within our ranks. You will form your own command structures, operate under your own strategies, and report directly to this council. But understand this, Captain Roland, failure is not an option. If your kind jeopardizes our efforts, the consequences will be severe. Roland nodded, his expression grim. We'll get the job done. Just remember, you wanted us because we're different. Don't try to make us like you. The indigo-scaled alien hissed softly, its colors darkening to a deep purple. This experiment will be closely monitored. Do not mistake our leniency for weakness. Roland turned to leave, his footsteps echoing in the vast chamber. As he reached the exit, he paused and glanced back. One more thing. You might think you're in control, but humans have a saying. Never start a fight you're not ready to finish. Remember that. Roland stepped into the human command center, a stark contrast to the alien chambers he had just left. The room was alive with activity. Officers barking orders, technicians monitoring holographic displays, and soldiers sharpening their weapons. The air was thick with tension, but also with something else, determination. Captain, Lieutenant Maria Valdez snapped to attention as Roland approached. What did the council decide? Roland's face was unreadable as he surveyed the room. Finally, he spoke. They've agreed to give us autonomy. We're running our own show now. A murmur rippled through the room. Some faces lit up with relief, others with skepticism. Autonomy? Valdez asked, her brow furrowing. What's the catch? Roland smirked. The usual. We screw up, they'll come down on us like a ton of bricks. But as long as we deliver results, they'll let us handle things our way. Valdez nodded, her expression hardening. Good. Because their way wasn't cutting it. Half the time, we're walking into battles blind, following orders that don't make sense. Not anymore, Roland said firmly. From now on, we fight smart. We fight human. The room erupted into cheers, a release of pent-up frustration and hope. For the first time since their recruitment, the soldiers felt a sense of agency, of purpose. The first mission under human command came quickly. A distress signal from a remote colony revealed an enemy force advancing on a strategic outpost. The Alien Council provided minimal intelligence, as usual, but Roland and his team filled in the gaps. Here's the plan, Roland said, standing before a holographic map of the battlefield. We're not going to charge in like cannon fodder. We're going to use the terrain, set traps, and hit them where it hurts. Valdez grinned. Classic guerrilla tactics. They won't know what hit them. The operation was a resounding success. Using ambushes, decoys, and precision strikes, the humans decimated the enemy force with minimal casualties. The Alien Council watched the battle unfold from their observation chambers, their shimmering forms betraying a mix of awe and unease. Impressive, the indigo-scaled alien admitted during the debriefing. But your methods are chaotic. Roland shrugged. Chaos works. You wanted results. We delivered. As the humans racked up victories, their reputation among the other allied species grew. Some viewed them as heroes, while others saw them as a dangerous wild card. Within the council, debates raged. They are effective, the tallest alien argued. Their methods may be unconventional, but their results speak for themselves. But at what cost? The indigo-scaled alien countered. Their unpredictability is a liability. We cannot control them. The council's unease deepened when reports surfaced of human soldiers questioning the morality of certain missions. In one instance, a human squad refused to execute a scorched earth order, sparing a civilian population that the council deemed expendable. We're soldiers, not butchers, Roland said when confronted by the council. If you want blind obedience, you picked the wrong species. The tipping point came during a critical battle against the enemy's flagship. The Council insisted on a direct assault, a strategy that would have resulted in massive casualties. Roland proposed an alternative, a risky infiltration mission to disable the ship's shields from within. "You're gambling with the lives of your soldiers," the indigo-scaled alien argued. "And you're gambling with the lives of everyone if we fail," Roland shot back. "Trust us or step aside." The Council reluctantly agreed. The mission was a success, but it came at a cost. Several human soldiers, including Valdez, were killed in the operation. At the memorial service, Roland stood before his grieving troops, his voice heavy with emotion. They gave their lives not for orders, not for politics, but for each other. That's what makes us human. And that's why we'll keep fighting, on our terms. The humans' continued success forced the Council to reevaluate their stance. They began to see the value in humanity's unique approach, not just their tactics, but their spirit, their ability to adapt and persevere. But not everyone was convinced. Factions within the Council began plotting to rein in the humans, fearing their growing influence. Roland, ever the strategist, anticipated this. He began forging alliances with sympathetic members of the Council and other allied species, building a coalition that valued cooperation over control. The climax came in a massive confrontation with the enemy's homeworld. The Council's rigid strategies clashed with the humans' adaptive tactics, creating a rift in the alliance. "We're doing this our way," Roland declared, rallying his troops. "If the Council wants to follow, fine. If not, we'll finish this ourselves." The humans led the charge, their unorthodox strategies turning the tide of battle. Their willingness to take risks, to think outside the box, proved decisive. As the enemy fell, the Council watched in stunned silence. Humanity had not only saved the alliance, but had redefined what it meant to fight and to lead. In the aftermath, the Council formally recognized humanity as equal partners, granting them a permanent seat at the table. Roland, now a revered figure, declined any formal titles. "We're not here to rule," he said. "We're here to make sure no one else has to fight for their freedom like we did." The humans returned to Earth as heroes, but also as a reminder to the galaxy. The most dangerous weapon is not a blade or a gun, but a spirit that refuses to be broken.